Hello, everyone. I'll be talking on how machine learning can help derive value out of your customer data for a business. So, as we all know, businesses have various touch points with their customers. So, these interactions leave behind a trail of data or fragments of information about the user. Companies are constantly focused on collecting this customer data to effectively create marketing campaigns and sales initiatives that cater to consumer interests and expectations. With the customer data coming in from various sources, it is not always easy to relate those pieces of data to create a unified view and derive relevant information from it. We do not always know how reliable and complete the information is. Is the similar data about the same customer, and whether the information is up to date. So what we're looking to build here is a 360 view, which is a comprehensive image of the customer based on the data gathered from the different input streams. This master data, or what we also term as the golden record, would serve as a single source of truth, a trusted version of customer information that includes the necessary and relevant pieces of consumer attributes to add value to an enterprise. With such a 360 view, we gain better insights and the ability to analyze a customer's journey and their purchase patterns. With it, companies are now empowered to approach their existing customers and even generate new revenue with personalized marketing offers that are targeted to meet the consumer needs and preferences. So to put it plainly, the process of creating this master data is by merging and linking similar records from across these sources. Now, when we actually dive deep into the data to link them, some of the challenges that arise in stringing these pieces of information are multiple values against a field. There's ambiguous information. Sometimes the data is incomplete, and even if it's present, are not enough to build the holistic view of the persona. So these are some of the common, if not all, the problems we come across when dealing with data. Now, if we think of eliminating duplicates or just grouping data with deterministic values, traditional processes and queries may be adequate. But to group similar records with variations that are not necessarily duplicates, these traditional methods alone do not suffice. And that's where machine learning is applied, which has the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So today we have different techniques of machine learning. What you see here is an overview of a data mastering process that leverage the supervised learning technique. Now, this supervised learning method learns to map an input to an output based on a model trained with the desired results. So what happens, a subject matter expert, after analyzing the data, would define a model which is nothing but a subset of attributes from the actual data that we are working on. For this method, the user would also build a label training dataset representing the real-world data variations and shortfalls, including examples of the expected matched output. This model is then trained by supplying the prepared training dataset. So here's where the learning algorithm analyzes the training data to generalize a mapping pattern for unseen scenarios. So what happens on the actual execution is that when the actual data is fed into the system, it forms blocks of similar records on the input data. And through the application of rules and machine learning algorithms, it forms pairs of records within the block. Each pair in the block is then matched for similarity based on the training, classifying them as either matched or unmatched pairs. The system then groups the matched pairs to form clusters of similar records. And finally, on each cluster, it would apply predefined rules at the column or at the record level to pick the most valuable field across the cluster to frame this master record. So what you see on this slide is an example of the kind of attributes that the user may pick for defining a model. These are mostly attributes that would contribute to identify a customer, and it would vary based on the use case and the schema of your input data. To the right is a snapshot of the training to be supplied to the model. This would include a label to indicate similarity or dissimilarity, and should include all the patterns of data variations for the model to learn. Now, this training and supplying this training data set to the model would be an iterative process, as you would tune the model and the training set to achieve a desired level of accuracy. So here in the slide, you see how once we feed this actual data into the system, how we see groups of similar records with variations coming together in the same cluster. So the next step here would be then to apply survivorship, which is the process of picking each data attribute from the set of from this cluster, from a cluster, based on the rules defined to get the master record. So these rules may be established from lineage, accuracy, completeness, validity, or even different data dimensions based on your use case. Like here in this example, we are picking up the data based on recency or the most recent value in the update date time column. And this would then form your golden record of this customer. Lastly, I would like to wrap up by summarizing the machine learning as an efficient means for data mastering when working with huge volume of data with their limitations. With it, we are able to create an enriched customer view by augmenting information around it. It also facilitates integrating customers that did not have complete or identifiable information when they were sitting in their individual data silos. And along with that, we also discover potential areas of data quality issues when we bring these records together. And lastly, we help businesses to earn revenue by providing an opportunity to improve their customer experience. With that, I would like to end my session mentioning at Zaloni, we have a data ops platform called Arena that has this capability of data mastering. You can visit our resource section on our website for more white papers, blogs, and webinars to learn about this data mastering and the platform. Thank you for attending this session.